This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching the channel as always. Wasn't going to film this Statesman tiller, but I am now. So what it's got going on is it had a pull rope issue, and I figured if I put a pull rope in it, it would actually start, but it did not. So I was like, oh, let's put a diaphragm in it. Put a diaphragm in it, didn't start either. So we're going to try and troubleshoot what's going on with it. It does have fuel and fire oil to run on starter fluid, but it will not pull gas out of the tank for some reason. It could be a water in the tank issue. I don't really feel like it is, but I didn't really feel like it was on a wood chipper that I just did, and it could be a couple other issues. I don't know yet, but we'll see what's going on with it. Hopefully, we got to take the tank off and everything. I hate doing that on these things, but we'll get there. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me, ellis@ellismowers.com, or at ellismowers09 on Instagram and Facebook. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is the old Briggs 5 horsepower flathead. This thing's in pretty good condition. Again, the pull rope spring went out in it. I had another one of these housings, so I just popped it on here just to test. I've already taken the air filter off of it, and now we're just going to take everything else off. I've done this what feels like 1,000 times here lately. So this 5/16 gets that all off. Like I said, I already tried the carb diaphragm. It didn't work, so I'm betting that something's plugged going up into the carb. Gas tank looks good though. That's always a good thing. I don't really like getting these off because it really messes up the gasket, and then you have issues after that. This looks like, yeah. You got a bunch of T20s here you got to take off. There's 5 of them total. One's right here. The second one's right here. The third one is behind this choke butterfly. The fourth one is on top, and the fifth one over here holds on this housing, or this intake tube. So I'll have to get them 5 off, then we'll get to the tank next. So we've gotten the 5 screws out. Now we're in the process of getting everything else off. So this throttle mechanism is kind of the first thing you want to do. Got to get this where it'll come off first off. Don't lose your screws. This thing's being a little difficult. There we go. You have to get it off of this little pin here that's controls the throttle. And once you do that, you can pull it out. Loosen up your ground wire, pull it out, and then pull it off of that choke lever right there, and that's off. So next order of business is I disconnect this, which is the throttle linkage, governor linkage. 5/16 gets off this. Just better to be able to access stuff when I do this. So 5/16 will get off that little choke governor arm there. You just slide that off of the governor linkage. Oh, I think we got a stuck throttle. I think that, oh, never mind. I take that back. I've got this screw pulled out. That one long screw is the one that goes in the middle right there. And we can take off the intake pipe as well, now that we have that screw out. And that this little pipe intake holder here is right there, and just slide it out from its little rubber boot. The 5th one, so we've gotten all 5 of our screws out. Now what you got to do is take And a T27, I think a T30 will also work. A lot of times this is what I do on this, is I pull this screw out with like a T27, and then I use a 3/8 wrench to get this one on the inside. And we've got to do this because we've got to pull the carb, because we put a diaphragm in it. We have what appears to be good gas in it. It's just not pulling anything up. So at the very least, we got to take the tank off and pour it out, pour that old gas, dispose of it. Might not be that bad a gas, but so you just got to take that 3/8 off, and then once I get that off, we'll get the carb off, and then we'll work on getting the gas tank off. So we're at the point of getting the carb off, and we hope that this comes off in one piece. Oh, so it's off of the gas tank, or it's off of the engine, and so we've got the gas tank now. There we go. I'm sure it didn't come off in one piece. Or did it? Did I get lucky? I might have. So it's going to pull that gasket, and then we're just going to pull it up. Now that gasket stayed intact. That's awesome. Oh, that's not awesome, though. We'll get that screw out of there with a magnet. But let's see what we've got. Yeah, we basically just got a plug jet right here. So I'm going to clean that up. Clean this rust out of the top of the tank right here. These things are terrible about rusting for some reason. Just that metal tank and that rust is just not good, guys. So I will take this tank off. I'm going to do that right now too. Oh, I feel like I've been hunched over all afternoon trying to do this. 3/8. Oh, this one's going to be challenging because of where it is. So, you need a 3/8 to get it off. But man, it's a tough situation right there with that. Where this thing is right here. Let's see if I can just... get anything down there, so that's going to be a little rough. It's really the only way to clean this out, though. Do you have that baster? At least I can suck the gas out and show you what I'm talking about here. Oh. So we've got that going. So you can see the amount of rust that's in this right here. Can't get it all out, unfortunately, but we got quite a bit there. And all it does is that a little bit of rust gets in the tank, and it ends up like getting sloshed around and all that mess. Ends up getting put up in the tank and starts causing problems like this particular time here. So let me get a light and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you see that rust buildup in there? Ooh, y'all might not. Let me get y'all off the tripod. So that rust buildup is what's causing our issues. And that can be anything from, if you look in there, there's a little bit of rust, so I do need to get this tank out of here. Just slosh it around a little bit and get what's in there out of there. There is never the ability to get the entire, get it rust free. You can just hope that you get it as good as you can possibly get it. And then call it a day after that. I'm going to throw some carb spray in here. Ooh, see if we can get this to be done. Okay, so I see it coming out, so we're good when it comes to that. So I don't think we had a diaphragm issue. I think we had a carb blockage issue, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's the way that it is. So we know it's clear now. I gotta get this rust out with that 3/8. Gotta figure out a 3/8 to get this gas tank off with. So I got that 3/8 off the bottom. So now we just pull this thing out. There is a governor spring that we've got to get off on the inside here. And it just comes off of a tab. I don't know how well y'all could see that. But this linkage comes out as well. So we'll pull that out and just put it aside. The little funny looking end goes on the inside where the bend is. Then the little 90 goes on the top. So that's that. Oh, we got that bolt in there, that's why. Let me see if I can pour some of the gas into this can here. Show you what we got. That's most of the gas in there. Okay, we got that off. And I mean, it's honestly not bad in there. It just picks up a decent amount of rust and just lets it get out. I'm always a little wary about washing these things with water, but I will dry it with carb spray, or spray it with carb spray in here, and hopefully we can get most of this out. I really don't see a lot of rust in here. So, let me see. Really not a lot. But, sorry to keep y'all moving. One thing I do have to do is get all this rust out of this area right here, otherwise we're going to have problems again. So let me work on that, and we'll get it as clean as we can, and then we'll put it all back together. So I'm in a little bit of a predicament now. So what happened was, when I started cleaning the rust out, the rust hole came in the cup of this gas tank cup. The rest of the tank looks okay. It's just, you know, the start of something. And in order to try and not spend $150-something on a new tank, only for it to rust again, and there's really no replacing the cup because it's all one-piece unit. I put a little piece of sheet metal in here just to kind of cover it a little bit, and I'm hoping that's going to work. Kind of a test, so to speak. We do know that the jet is clear on the carburetor now, so now it's just a matter of putting everything back together. What you want to do when you put it all back together is you want to get the spring in its rightful spot right there on the little tab. It goes in between the two tabs and kind of goes straight down. And then you're going to put your 3/8 back in. You're going to put your throttle linkage back in as well before you put everything back up, all right? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to put the gas tank on with the 3/8 next. All right, guys, so we've got the tank back on with the 3/8 and the governor spring, like I mentioned. Our linkages are still hanging out right here. We've got a couple of screws in so far. Third screw is going to go in behind the choke. Don't forget that one because it's easy to forget, number one. Number two, if you put everything back together, forget that and you got leaking and all that good stuff, you're not going to be able to get it off. So, without taking, you know, your cover and stuff back off here. So that's kind of where the assembly process gets a little bit more complicated. we will put this linkage back on. So the long ways goes on top for the 90. Not that way. Oops. My goodness, how did I do this? Got it backwards, y'all. Sorry. Okay, so that's the way that works, and then we're gonna get the other one here. Come on. All right, so that's. I thought that's the way the linkages work. Maybe I got it backwards. Maybe I got the short side on the. Got the short side on the wrong side. Okay, so it goes. I'll tell you what, let's do this, and then we'll work on the other. I know this one, and I'll show you the other one here in just a second. I'm gonna have to do it off cam because apparently the pressure of doing it on cam is too much. So I had it right. The linkage was just a little messed up. Again, the thick side goes on the top, thin on the bottom. Put your ground wire in here before you put on your throttle mechanism. Makes life easier for everybody. Slide this in. What you have to do is have it go. There's a little insert here that little arm goes into, and then before you do that though, you've got your choke lever that needs to go into your choke on the top, and then you put your throttle arm into its position, and then you just tighten those two screws down. We're going to try and see if we can get this thing to run. Alright guys, let's see if it'll run. One note about that little cup thing I put in that I showed you just a few minutes ago. It's not a perfect fix, but what I'm trying to do is to keep gas from just shooting back down out of that little cup, and so that it actually retains enough so that it holds enough gas so that it will pull it out of the end of the carburetor through the diaphragm into the intake. I don't think it's got to be perfect. It's just got to keep it from, getting really bad. So on, choke, check the oil already. Oil's good. I think it might run, guys. Let's see, hopefully. I see stuff coming up. Okay, so we've got something pulling up. Trying it again. Oh, it's gonna fool me here, guys. I know it's pumping. I think that rusted gas tank cup is gonna get me though. And on its own there for a brief second though. Let's see if we can get it to start and stay running here. No. Thing's running fast though. Man. Hope I'm not going to be stuck with a dud here again. What in the world? come off the... No. Everything looks good. So weird. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something else, unfortunately. So let me keep working and we'll figure out what we need to do. So I'd put this tiller to bed for a little while. We're back. What I'm going to attempt to do, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but I've been looking up ways that I can fix these gas tanks. Number one, that jet right there, not the tube that you see nearest to the camera, but the jet right there closer to my thumb, actually was blocked. So that was probably one of the main issues. But one of our other issues is that we've got this, again, fuel pickup here with the issues with the starter cup, or with the, not with the cup that holds the gas. So what I'm gonna try to do, I tried to use that piece of tin right there and it didn't seem like it worked very well. I'm going to dry the tank out, wash it so I can neutralize everything, and see if I can fix the holes in it right here with some solder. Now, of course, it's got a lot of little surface rust and stuff on it. But what I can do, sorry if my camera's going all over the place. I want to grab my flashlight and show you all the holes again, because it's been a while since I shot this last clip. But where are we here? That little hole right there, and there's a couple little holes up there on the near side that I want to address. But what that involves is taking off the gas tank, which we'll go ahead and do here. I feel like I'm just shaking the camera all over the place, and I apologize. Y'all have already seen me take the gas tank off, I think. So we're going to pull that off, and just take that linkage off so that it's gone for now. I'm going to dump the gas out, and I'm going to take the sponges out here, wash it a little bit just to neutralize everything that's in the tank, let it dry for maybe an hour-ish or so. I'm going to come back with a heat torch and a little bit of solder and see if I can knock those holes down right there in the cup so that it's not fighting that battle. And if I can accomplish that, then we'll continue on and put everything back together. I think, like I said, I think it just had that blockage in that jet, which was maybe one of the main reasons why it wasn't running. But we do have some surface rust and stuff down here too, which is not going to bode very well for us. So I don't know exactly how to clean that out, but we'll try. Sad thing is the rest of this tank on the inside's in really good condition, especially for its age. It's just this stuff up here is kind of rusted out and stuff. So I don't know if a wire brush is going to fix it or what, but we're going to work on it a little bit more, see what we can do. So I guess you use what you got, run what you brung, whatever you want to call it. But if you look down there, you can see, I'll get a flashlight, a little bead of solder that I put down there that was covering a hole, or that's covering a hole in this cup. And I've had it on there for about a minute now. I filled it up with gas, filled the cup up with gas, and it's staying. So I think, and I've poked it with a screwdriver and everything, it seems like it's holding. So that's awesome. We got it through, and I guess it kind of beaded itself on the other side too. So that's great. We're going to put this everything back together on this tiller and see if it runs now. I think I showed everything, how to get it off and all that already. So a little bit complicated. It could always be worse though. So let me go ahead and do all that good stuff. And I think, like I said, I think we had issues with that jet too, that was clogged with something. Once we get all that sorted out, we'll see if she starts back up, and if she does, then we're going to be in really good shape and hopefully be able to get this tiller out of here. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to get it out of here this weekend, but we'll get it out of here sometime soon. All right, so we're kind of at the point to try and start this thing back again. I got everything back together. Y'all seen me take it apart a couple of times here. So, you know, we'll see if the solder fixes it. As long as the diaphragm is pumping things up, then hopefully this thing will start now, because it is holding gas in that little tank cup. So let's see. Hopefully. That's awesome. Let's see if the tiller function works. That's awesome. That's really nice. I think I get a screwdriver real quick. Kind of cool. Run there. That's a good thing. We'll see if we can get it to run a little bit better though. I think we got it. What it was, this adjustment screw right here. No matter what I did, when I adjusted it, it wouldn't work. Oop, didn't want to run there, but either way, no matter what I did, I adjusted it, it wouldn't work. I took it out, and then what I did is I sprayed a bunch of carb spray in it. A lot of dirt came out, screwed it back in, and it was running a lot better. So that's good. We'll give it a final run and a final look here in just a second. Can't ask for much better. Some of y'all might have noticed I put some different wheels on it. The wheels I had on it were just standard push mower wheels and not ball bearing wheels. And the way that this tiller was moving was eating those wheels up pretty bad. So I put those wheels on there. It's still not the best rolling thing, but it's not, these wheels are at least are not going to break off. Nor is it the best looking, but people aren't getting these things for how good they look. Pull rope, probably going to pop a pull rope on it. Well, that one might be okay. It's just a little old shedding, but I don't see any like massive fraying or anything on it. Tillers, you don't necessarily have to pull very hard in order to get going either. So but hey, that's another one done there, guys, right in time for tilling season too. Actually, maybe kind of being on the back end of tilling season for a lot of people. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. The coolest thing about it, I was doing some researching and whatnot on how in the world could I fix a little hole in a gas tank, that little tank cup. And somebody said solder, and I was looking in the garage. I'm like, okay, I have a heat torch. I have a little bit of solder. I tried it the first time, it didn't work. It didn't adhere. But the second time I was able to get it underneath the tank cup, and so now it's sucked in. And y'all saw that it would hold gas in that tank cup. That was my big hang up. And once I've done that and cleaned out that jet in the carburetor, and where the the fuel air mix screw on that, we're good to go. So I'm excited, guys. This will fit the bill for somebody very well, I think, and hopefully will allow them to till their garden. I have somebody that actually is interested in a tiller when I get back from my vacation, which this video will post after that happens. I'll see if I can sell it to him, you know, $150 maybe. People all over tillers is about $150 to $200. So hey, we'll take it and we'll run with it. We're on to the next project here. As of right now, this would be the middle of March. All the projects that came in, all the people that reached out to me, I am settled and straight with them, except for one blower that I'm waiting on an ignition coil for. So it's been kind of nice to be able to get a few of these personal projects finished and clean out the yard a little bit. It's been great. But thank you all again for watching. Thank you all for all the support. We're over 6,000 subscribers now and cruising along here in the spring. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch you on the next repair. Take care.